and welcome. I'm Miraj and you're watching Take It Out. We're coming to you from the sidelines of the Renewable Energy Expo in Greater Noida, where we're looking at the latest technology, latest innovations in battery tech. Now, battery technology is one of those issues that affects a gamut of industries, which is why you see such a lot of interest around here. In fact, all the stories that we have for you in this episode, whether it is Elon Musk's SpaceX's Starship coming back after a successful test flight, whether it is a chip that can restore eyesight, whether it is these EVs on land, water, in the air, they're all grappling with one fundamental problem, and that is how to get sustainable energy. Range anxiety, stressful enough in a car, but imagine if you were in a boat or worse, in a plane. Everybody here is trying to solve one problem: how to make batteries last longer.
Transportation today is becoming cleaner, smarter, and much quieter. Driven by the convergence of electrification and advanced technologies, this shift promises less noise pollution, reduced emissions, and more efficiency. Think electric ferries that glide across the water, roads that can charge cars as they drive, and electric flying vehicles taking off from city streets. This is the new age of mobility that is changing how we move on land, water, and in the air. France is building a highway that charges your car while you drive. No more hunting for charging points, no more long pit stops. That's the idea behind the country's E-Road Mont Blanc project, a testbed for the future of electric mobility.
The electric highway system is a power track that supplies energy to vehicles as they drive. Simply put, there's no need to recharge them. They are powered and their batteries are recharged while in motion.
The first phase of testing has just wrapped up on a 420-meter track at the Transpolis experimentation platform, which is an 80-hectare smart mobility lab built on a former military site near Lyon. Here, engineers are testing a road that can charge your vehicles on the go. To make this happen, they have embedded a conductive rail into the road surface. Every time a vehicle passes over it, a small arm fitted underneath the vehicle makes contact with the rail, drawing electricity in real time. Once deployed, it could let vehicles recharge as they drive, reducing emissions, cutting electricity, peak loads, and shrinking the need for large batteries. The next phase of testing, slated for 2027, will take place on a 1-kilometer stretch. The goal is to decarbonize long-distance road travel in France and eventually across Europe by 2030. In Finland, the Aurora Botnia hybrid ferry has set a new benchmark. The 150-meter-long vessel sails quietly and is carbon-free. It carries cargo and nearly 900 passengers across the Gulf of Bothnia between Finland and Sweden. But unlike most ferries, there's something missing here. There's no smoke, just silence, and a hum of clean power. The Aurora Botnia runs partly on batteries and recently switched from liquefied natural gas to biofuels. The result? One of the world's first carbon-neutral large passenger ferries.
Maybe 5 years ago, nobody thought that this was even possible at all. And now we have proved that you can do this, and you can challenge the old systems, and you can challenge the old ways of thinking.
In Vilnius, the river is back at the heart of the city, and this time, it's electric. The Lithuanian capital has become the first in Europe to weave fully electric ferries into its public transport network, not for tourists, but for commuters, ordinary people heading to work by water. These sleek, silent boats glide down the Neris River, passing medieval bridges and modern glass towers alike. The technology is seamless. Batteries recharged at shore, digital tickets booked on the same app that gets you a tram, and for every kilometer they travel, they emit less than half the carbon of a diesel bus. For Vilnius, Europe's green capital of 2025, that's more than a statistic, it's a statement, a city turning back to its river and floating toward a cleaner future.
If you live in the center, in this area, and you work here, I guess yes. Especially maybe women would like it, like a romantic way to go to work or to clear your mind after work. I think it will be very cool.
In Dubai, Xpeng has unveiled its land aircraft carrier, a machine that looks like a giant drone but drives like an SUV. This two-seater electric flying car comes with its own six-wheel mothership, an off-road vehicle that carries, charges, and deploys the eVTOL when it is time to take to the skies. The idea is simple. Drive out of the city, unlock the flying module, and lift off. No runways, no traffic, just a joystick and a view.
Our product actually particularly safe or very safe. By the time it goes to the market, gets to the consumer, it will go through a rigorous certification process. And actually during our R&D process, we have made 200 of this and conducted more than 5,000 safety testing flights in extreme heat, high altitude, extreme cold, moisture areas, so it actually can handle all the situations.
It could be one of the first flying cars to hit the market by 2027. Railways too are becoming a testing ground for innovation. In the United Kingdom, that innovation has set a new world record for the longest distance traveled by a battery-powered train on a single charge.
We've broken the record for the longest distance traveled on a single charge by a battery train. We've done just over 200 miles and that's broken the record by quite some distance overnight. It's an important achievement for the UK rail industry to be able to do that because it demonstrates the viability of battery technology to power trains in the future.
The train is equipped with 6 high-capacity battery packs and runs at an average speed of 35 to 38 miles per hour. Even at the end of its epic journey, the train's battery still held more than 22% of its charge, which was just enough to cover another 60 miles if needed. To push the train to its record-breaking 200-mile target, engineers had to conserve every single electron. Non-essential systems were cut back, ensuring maximum power was reserved for traction. This record-breaking run isn't just a milestone in distance, it's a turning point for the entire rail industry. On the road, electric vehicles don't just cut emissions, they can break speed records too. There's a new name at the very top of the production car speed charts. Yangwang, the luxury sub-brand of Chinese automaker BYD, has set a new global benchmark, hitting a top speed of 496.22 kilometers per hour at the ATP test track in Germany. The mind-boggling feat was achieved with the all-electric Yangwang U9 Extreme hypercar, piloted by German racer and multiple lap record holder Mark Basseng. It's worth noting that this is a benchmark, not yet an official world record. But still, the achievement is too significant to overlook. It's another reminder of just how far and how fast modern-day EVs are pushing the limits of performance. From hybrid ferries to flying cars, urban transportation is now cleaner, faster, and smarter. As we move across roads, the sky, and the sea, it is clear that the future of transport is already underway.
There's a reason that he named his car company after Nikola Tesla. Now, Elon Musk is very much the innovator of our generation. Politics aside, love him or hate him, he does seem a bit eccentric, his schemes can seem a bit harebrained, but the success of his companies is somewhat inseparable from him. Now he wants to build a robot army and he wants $1 trillion to do it.
Often considered the notorious kid of the tech industry, Elon Musk is at it again. This time, he doesn't just want to build cars, rockets, or brain chips. He wants to lead a robot army. Yes, you heard that right, a robot army. In a recent Tesla company-wide call, Elon Musk reportedly said he needs a $1 trillion compensation package. to ensure control over Tesla's growing fleet of AI-driven robots. And he's not joking. According to reports, the plan could hand Musk nearly $1 trillion in Tesla stock over the next decade. But only if he hits some sky-high targets. That means taking Tesla's market value to $8.5 trillion, roughly 7 times what it's worth today, while also delivering 20 million cars and deploying 1 million robo-taxis. Musk insists it's not about wealth, but about influence, adding that he wants to make sure his robot army doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Conveniently, those wrong hands are anyone but his. Essentially, he wants to build the future, but only if he's in charge of it. Meanwhile, critics have launched a Take Back Tesla campaign, calling it a risk to shareholders and public funds. The campaign warns against giving one man unchecked control over high-stakes AI. But that's Musk, a man fueled by equal parts ambition and chaos. Interestingly, back in 2023, Elon Musk had already sounded the alarm, warning that a simple software update might turn robots from friendly to frightening. Musk made the remarks during a conversation with then British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak following a world-first AI summit at Bletchley Park in the UK.
A robot can follow you anywhere, then, what if they just one day get a software update and they're not so friendly anymore? Then we've got a James Cameron movie on our hands.
Fast forward to this year, Musk turned up at the Oval Office sporting a black eye. The internet erupted with theories, from bar fights to Falcon 9 malfunctions. The truth, turns out his son had punched him by mistake while playing.
Musk, is your eye okay? What happened to your eye? I noticed there was a bruise there.
Well, I wasn't anywhere near France, so.
What does that mean?
No,
I didn't notice it.
First lady of France.
I didn't notice.
I was just horsing around with little X, and I said, "Go ahead, punch me in the face," and he did. Turns out, even a 5-year-old punching you in the face actually does.
That was X that did.
Yeah,
X could do it. If you knew X,
I saw his mom right now.
Then there's Grokipedia, Musk's shiny new AI encyclopedia designed to compete with Wikipedia. In 2024, Musk had accused Wikipedia of being controlled by far-left activists. His version run entirely by AI, powered by his chatbot Grok. He claims Grokipedia is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if that's not enough, this year in August, Musk launched Macro Hard. Yes, that is its real name. His tongue-in-cheek jab at Microsoft. It's an AI project under XAI aiming to recreate software companies without human coders. Through all of this, Musk continues to do what he does best. Blur the line between genius and absurdity. He's the same guy who sold a $100 perfume called Burnt Hair, a $500 flamethrower, a Cybertruck-shaped whistle, and a cat bed inspired by the Cybertruck. Love him or hate him, Musk's world is never boring. One minute he's talking about saving humanity, the next he's starting meme wars on his X account. Musk is a one-man tech circus, and his every act is louder than the last.
Connectivity, mobility, communication, these are all great, but where technology makes the greatest impact is where it affects human lives. Macular degeneration is a cruel disease. You first lose the sight right in the middle, and then it spreads, and eventually you can't see anything. Now there's a new chip that hopes to imitate a human retina. It doesn't really restore eyesight, but it teaches the brain to reinterpret sight. It's a fascinating story. Have a watch. This is Sheila. She used to love riding motorcycles and taking road trips until she got something called macular degeneration. It's a cruel disease that quietly destroys the cell that let you see what's right in front of you. You're not blind, not at first. You can still see things at the edges, just not the people you love, the words you read, or the road ahead.
And my worst day was I sent my driving licence back. So I always had a scooter, a motorbike, and a car always, and I cried all day long that day. And then I said, no more. Now move on and get on with things.
There's no cure for macular degeneration, but now there's something close to a reprieve. A microchip smaller than a grain of rice that sits under the retina and acts like an artificial photoreceptor. It's called primer. Surgeons remove a small part of the eye's vitreous jelly, slide the chip beneath the retina, and then seal it back. After that, patients wear special glasses. These are part camera, part translation devices that capture what they're looking at and project it back into the eye as patterns of light.
The microchip is an array of solar panels that is activated by light. So the patient puts on a pair of goggles. It has a video camera which captures the visual scene. So, for example, a book. The letters and words are then projected by the camera onto the chip wirelessly by infrared light, and it's all instantaneous.
It's not vision as we know it. It's hard to articulate what artificial vision can look like. It's a translation of the world into pulses of light and shadows that the brain then learns to reinterpret as sight. Imagine seeing not the details but the rhythm of movement, the boundaries of space, like the glimpse of a word as you read. That's what this technology restores, not clarity, but connection. Developed at Stanford and tested in London, the system turns visual data into electrical impulses that travel through what's left of the retina and up the optic nerve. The result is a kind of visual echo, the world reduced to outlines and fragments, but visible again. Researchers say that 80% of trial participants regained some ability to see. On average, they could read 5 lines on an eye chart. Before the surgery, they couldn't even see the chart.
It takes about several months for them to understand this new vision. But the most important thing with this device, which has never been demonstrated before with any device, is that patients can see what we can see.
For Sheila Irvine, it began with letters, then words. She describes the first time she saw print again, not clear enough to read, but enough to know that it was there.
I was an avid bookworm, and I want to read. So it's in me, I think, And when I was given a book, I couldn't see it at all. It was like getting a cloud out and put it on the page, it was just white.
Doctors say the chip doesn't replace vision, it coaxes it. It works with what's left of the eye, teaching the brain to reinterpret light, to see outlines, to read again, to recognize a face. For those afflicted with macular degeneration, it's a return to participation in life. SpaceX's second prototype Starship just completed its 11th and final test flight this week. A magnificent achievement. Went off flawlessly from the time that it took off from the flats in Texas to the time it gently plopped down in the Indian Ocean. Everything went tickety-boo. Now, when Musk first thought of it, it was supposed to be the vehicle that could possibly take us to Mars. The fact that it has done this successfully gives credence to the fact that it might actually be able to bring us back as well.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
On October 13th, 2025 at 6:47 local time, SpaceX launched Starship for the 11th time. It was the final test flight of Starship's second generation prototype and the first time every major objective was achieved.
We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Bad Boy.
After takeoff, its two components, the Super Heavy booster and the Starship upper stage, cleared the launch tower with all 33 first stage engines firing. For those lucky enough to witness the launch in person at Starbase in Texas, it was quite a sight to see the 120-meter tall vehicle take flight. Now the Starship is massive, it's much larger than conventional spacecraft. It needs to be big to carry large crews into space, essential for long space voyages.
That are currently holding Starship.
2 minutes and 40 seconds later, stage separation occurred cleanly. The Super Heavy booster executed a boost back turn, flipped, and descended under engine power toward the Gulf of Mexico. It touched down on target, upright and intact.
Booster landing room shut down. Absolutely awesome.
Meanwhile, Starship's 6 Raptor engines ignited, carrying it to space. It completed a full-duration ascent burn and, critically, relit one engine in orbit, demonstrating in-space restart capability. Then came re-entry, the most punishing phase. Temperatures exceeding 1400 degrees Celsius, plasma enveloped the vehicle. But Starship's heat shield held. Its flaps guided it through atmospheric chaos, and at 7:28 p.m., it executed a controlled belly flop maneuver, followed by a final engine burn, splashing down gently in the Indian Ocean.
There's a buoy. There's a splashdown.
For the first time, SpaceX had flown the entire Starship system from liftoff to orbital insertion to controlled re-entry and splashdown flawlessly. Flight 11's significance extends beyond engineering. It represents a new model for aerospace development, rapid iteration, public testing, and learning through failure, then success. While traditional programs spend decades perfecting a design before flight, SpaceX builds, flies, fails, quite spectacularly sometimes, rebuilds and improves. All within a few months. It's a very Silicon Valley approach to building. But Flight 11 proved that approach can work even at the scale of the most powerful rocket ever built. The flight marked a turning point, the moment an audacious plan crafted by an audacious technocrat came through. It's ironic that all the technology that we have, all these data centers, all this artificial intelligence, all of it will come to naught if we cannot figure out a way to get them powered sustainably and without destroying the planet. That's where the buck stops, and that is all that we have for you in this episode of Tech It Out. Keep watching WION, World is One. Follow us on social media, share these stories on YouTube. Until next week, this is Miraj, your host, signing out. Bye.